Scene 1. The Slope of Memories. Show a nostalgic, sun-drenched memory of Japan in 1974. A young university student, carrying heavy textbooks, walks up a gentle slope near Okurayama Station. He is not thinking of studies, but of her. He walks beside a high school girl with chubby cheeks and innocent, captivating eyes. Like a heroine from a classic shoujo manga, her name is Junko Takigawa. The air is thick with the sweet, delicate scent of blooming plum blossoms. Her voice saying, "Hello, teacher," fills his heart with the warmth of a spring day. Scene 2. A Dangerous Promise. The student wants to bring light to Junko's shadowed heart. She recently lost her father. However, he hides a secret. He has a perfect fiancé named Ritsuko in Gotanda. One day, Junko's mother gives him 8,000 yen, a large sum, entrusting him to take Junko to a movie. He invites her to see the terrifying blockbuster, The Exorcist. At Motosumiyoshi Station, Junko smiles innocently as they wait for the Shibuya-bound train. He intentionally ignores the painful crush on him hidden behind her smile. Scene 3. Shibuya Hustle and Pouting Lips. Shibuya Station in 1974 is chaotic, vibrant, and hot. A massive, winding line waits for the exorcist. "Sorry, Junko," he says. "We have to wait 4 hours." He takes her to a mature lounge called Tanpopo on Miyamasuzaka Slope. Junko, in a pale blue dress chosen for today, tries to act grown-up, but her slight pout reveals her adorable high school nature. They sit on a plush sofa, the sound of jazz blurring with the city noise outside. Scene 4. The Unmasking. As he speaks of her late father to comfort her, Junko interrupts, tears bursting from her large, starry eyes. These are not just tears for her father, but for an unrequited love too heavy for a 17-year-old. She knows everything. She sees through his teacher mask and knows his fiancée, Ritsuko, occupies his entire heart. Before her pure, overwhelming emotion, he can only sit in silence, his fingers trembling on his teacup. Scene 5. The Sting and the Stars. Inside a dark movie theater in Shibuya, 1974. Expecting a horror film, the screen instead radiates with the bright smile of Robert Redford and the upbeat sounds of ragtime. The movie is The Sting. Junko giggles softly, whispering, "Teacher, this isn't the right movie." Embarrassed, the student takes her to a planetarium. Under the cosmic dome, Saint Saëns the Swan plays. Junko's finger gently traces his sleeve, her eyes pleading for a word he cannot give. He stares at the fake stars to escape her gaze. Scene 6. Charlotte Red Scarf. At the Shibuya Parco department store, the student buys a vibrant Charlotte Red scarf for Junko. It's an expensive gift for him, 3,000 yen. Junko holds the red silk to her chest, looking at their reflection in a mirror. Slowly, she shakes her head twice, 3 times the aya gesture. It's not the gift she wants, it's him. The red of the scarf bleeds into the orange glow of the sunset outside. Scene 7. Steaming Confession at Manyo Kaikan. Night in Dogenzaka. At the Chinese restaurant, Manyo Kaikan, steam rises from a plate of mapo tofu, blurring the air between them. Junko's eyes pierce through the vapor, filled with tears. She wrinkles her forehead and performs her signature aya head shake, a silent scream of "don't go back to her." The student looks down at his left hand, feeling the invisible chains of his fiancée Ritsuko. Scene 8. The Flow of Time. A montage showing the passage of 50 years. Calendars flipping, the transition from analog to digital, the changing skyline of Tokyo from Showa to Reiwa. The young student transforms into a 70-year-old man in a suit, now a retired high-ranking official. Despite his stable life with Ritsuko, his mind often drifts back to the steam of the mapo tofu and the profile of a young girl shaking her head in the dark. Scene 9. The Final Farewell at Motosumiyoshi. A poignant final shot at the ticket gate of Motosumiyoshi Station, 1974. The lighting is dim and nostalgic. Junko stands by the gate, staring deeply into the student's eyes for the last time. Accepting the inevitable, she gives one last, lonely aya shake, a youthful, bitter resistance against fate. She turns her back, her small figure walking away into the cold night air. She pauses once to look back with a heartbreakingly lonely expression before disappearing into the crowd. Ensure the style remains consistent with previous scenes, focusing on her sad eyes and the retro station atmosphere. Scene 10. Reunion on the Slope, 50 years later. A sunny afternoon in 2026 at the Okurayama Plum Grove. The setting is nostalgia-drenched. An elderly Takuchi 70s walks up the slope. He stops as he sees a woman in her late 40s photographing plum blossoms. She turns around. Her face is a hauntingly beautiful echo of Junko. Takuchi whispers, "Junko?" She smiles gently and replies, "No, I am her daughter. May I call you Mr. Takeuchi?" High definition, soft spring sunlight, emotional realism. Scene 11, the secret of the surname. Close up on the daughter's hands as she hands over an old, yellowed envelope. "My mother never married, but she gave me the surname Takeuchi," she reveals. Inside the envelope is a vintage 1974 photo of Junko and a note. "That day's the sting was the best. Goodbye, my precious liar teacher." The scent of plum blossoms seems to drift through the screen. Cinematic depth. Focus on the weathered paper and the old photograph. Scene 12. Melodies at Hiyoshi campus. Cut to the modern Hiyoshi campus. Takuchi's grandson, Yasuo, meets a young girl named Marina. She holds a guitar. Marina reveals her grandmother was the legendary Junko Takigawa. She starts playing a familiar intro on her guitar. The atmosphere is vibrant and youthful, yet connected to the past. Golden hour lighting, high-quality musical performance aesthetic. Scene 13. The girl with the stopped clock at a Sunday concert in Okurayama. In the crowd, an elderly Takuchi finds a young girl, a modern-day incarnation of Junko wearing the same pale blue dress. She confesses, "My clock has been stopped since the day I fell for my tutor." Takuchi gently wraps his hands around her cold hands. "Cry," he says. "Cry and set him free. And yourself too." A powerful, emotional close-up as tears finally fall from her eyes after 50 years. Scene 14. Finale. The Light of Junko. The masterpiece finale. As Yasuo and Marina perform on stage, the ethereal spirit of the late Junko appears in the auditorium. She is young again, wearing her blue dress, surrounded by a magnificent aura of glowing golden particles and shimmering light. She looks at Takuchi and smiles, a smile of pure forgiveness. As Takuchi looks up at the blue sky, the spirit vanishes, leaving only a vintage Motosumiyoshi-bound train ticket on a sun-drenched bench. Cinematic, heavenly lighting, breathtaking visual effects, a profound sense of peace.